Morning, everybody. It's the beginning of a brand new week, and it's time for story time with Sophie. That's me. I'm Sophie. Thank you so much for inviting me in to spend a little time with you today. I'm really excited because today is what I'm calling Mishmash Monday, and it's a whole bunch of different things all thrown together, but they all have basically the same thing in common, which it's all about just being who we are. And sometimes we make mistakes, and sometimes we have really good ideas. And so today is Mishmash Monday. So, shall we get started? My first reading comes from Where the Sidewalk Ends. And this is by Shel Silverstein. And this one is called Lester. Now, there are no pictures for Lester, but I find this to be a very, very interesting story. Lester was given a magic wish by the goblin who lives in the banyan tree. And with his wish, he wished for 2 more wishes. So now instead of just 1 wish, he cleverly had 3. And with each of these, he simply wished for 3 more wishes, which gave him 3 old wishes plus 9 new. And with each of these 12, he slyly wished for 3 more wishes, which adds up to 46. Or is it 52? Well, anyway, he used each wish to wish for more wishes till he had 5,007,018,034. And then he spread them on the ground. And he clapped his hand and danced all around and skipped and sang and then sat down and wished for more. And more and more. They multiplied. While other people smiled and cried and loved and reached and touched and felt, Lester sat amidst his wealth. Stacked mountain high like stacks of gold, sat and counted and grew old. And then one Thursday night they found him dead. And his wishes were piled all around him. And they counted the lot and they found that not a single one was missing. All shiny and new. Here, take a few. And think of what Lester, as you do. In a world of apples and kisses and shoes, he wasted his wishing on wishing. That's something to think about, isn't it? We all say, oh, I just so wish I had a wish. And then we don't think about doing anything with that wish, do we? Yeah, I know. So sometimes let's think about what fun things we could do with those wishes instead of just hoarding the wishes, huh? Wishes are meant to be shared. Well, let's sing a little song, shall we? How about a nice hello? Hello, how are you all? Hello, how are you all? Hello, how are you? I'm just fine today. I'm glad to see you here today. I'm glad to see you here today. I'm glad to see you here today. I'm so glad to see you. Okay, so let's take a wish and put it in our hearts. Go like this, take your wish, put it in your heart. Make a wish and put it in your heart and make a wish. Put it in your heart and make a wish and put it in your heart. I'm so glad to see you. Okay, now take that wish that you just put in your heart and share it. So I want you to take your wish and share it. Share that wish with everybody now. Share that wish with everybody now. Share that wish with everybody now. I'm so glad to see you. Very good. Okay, let's spin around the room. Spin, spin, spin around the room. And spin, spin, spin around the room. And spin, spin, spin around the room. I'm so glad to see you. Okay, what do you say we make some funny faces, shall we? Think of my I'm so glad to see you. Okay, let's wave hello and get started. Here we go. Hello, how are you all? Hello, how are you all? Hello, how are you? I'm just fine today. You know what I think I would wish for? I think that I would wish for enough time to see all the creativity that everybody creates in this world. Wouldn't that be fun? That's a lot of time I would need, though, huh? Well, let's get started. My first story comes to you from Jerry Pinkney's version of Aesop's Fables. These are some of the most beautiful paintings and drawings. And Jerry Pinkney, Jerry Pinkney does all of the drawings and paintings as well as the stories. Now, in Aesop's Fables, basically these are stories that teach us things. This one is called The Peacock's Tale. There was a time when the peacock could fly higher than any other bird, over the trees and nearly up to the sunlit clouds. One day, after soaring above the earth, the peacock landed near a quiet pool and glimpsed his reflection in the water. Horrified, he saw that his feathers were dull brown, without a single scarlet plume or golden crest among them.
"Oh, this is terrible," he cried. "I would pay any price if I could be beautiful." And he fell asleep that night,
still lamenting his plainness. When he woke the next morning, he found that his wish had been granted. His dull feathers had been transformed to shimmering blue and emerald green, purple and turquoise. And he was the most delighted with his very, very long tail that could spread out behind him like an emperor's fan. The peacock strolled through the woods, showing off his glorious feathers to every bird he met. But even this wasn't enough. "Everyone must see me," the vain bird thought. "I'll fly high above the trees and show my new feathers to all." When he stretched out his wings, however, he found that the weight of his heavy tail pinned him to the ground. A small brown sparrow who sat in the tree above saw the peacock struggling to fly.
"Oh, well, you have what you wanted," he called down. "But is beauty worth such a price?"
And before the peacock could reply, the sparrow spread his wings and soared away. And the fable, what it means is that vanity carries a heavy price. And so, let me show you a beautiful picture of that beautiful peacock. He is quite beautiful. But to be that beautiful, he had to pay a price, which was he couldn't fly high above the clouds anymore. But you know what? Who knows? Maybe he was very happy with that. It was his decision. All right, let's sing a little silly song, because you know how I like to get silly. And I love all your names, too. And so I'm going to be putting them into this song. It goes like this. Willoughby wallaby wee, an elephant sat on me. Willoughby wallaby woo, an elephant sat on you. Oh, let's hear some of the U's, shall we? Willoughby wallaby wally, an elephant sat on Ollie. Willoughby wallaby wally, an elephant sat on Allie. Willoughby wallaby Rita, an elephant sat on Frida. Willoughby wallaby Wuston, an elephant sat on Justin. Willoughby wallaby wee, an elephant sat on me. Willoughby wallaby woo, an elephant sat on you. Willoughby wallaby wella, an elephant sat on Isabella. Willoughby wallaby wire, an elephant sat on Maya. Oh, Willoughby wallaby wee, an elephant sat on me. Willoughby wallaby woo, an elephant sat on you. Willoughby wallaby wacy, an animal sat on Jaycee. Willoughby wallaby Willoughby wallaby woozin'. I think that's so silly. Woozin'? An elephant sat on Susan. Willoughby wallaby wee, an elephant sat on me. Willoughby wallaby woo, an elephant sat on you. Willoughby, Wallaby, Wowla, an elephant sat on Gabriella. Willoughby, Wallaby, Madeline, an elephant sat on Madeline. Willoughby, Wallaby, wee, an elephant sat on me. Willoughby, Wallaby, woo, an elephant sat on you. That's a song you can sing with any of your friends' songs or any of your family's songs. Silly little song, isn't it? I have a great story for you. And this is from the Epic series. Thank you, Epic, for all your fabulous, fabulous, wonderful stories. This is called The Kissing Hand, and this is by Audrey Penn with illustrations by Ruth Harper and Nancy M. Leake. And so this is called The Kissing Hand. Let me show you the picture of the front. This has little raccoons. Can you see the little raccoons? It's a mama raccoon and a baby raccoon. And it's called The Kissing Hand. I love these pictures. A cute little raccoon. He's a little baby raccoon. This is to Stephanie, Rebecca, Corin, and children everywhere who love to be loved. Let me read that to you again. To Stephanie, Rebecca, Corin, and children everywhere who love to be loved. I don't know about you, but I love to be loved, even though I'm not a child. Chester Raccoon stood at the edge of the forest and cried. I don't want to go to school, he told his mother. I want to stay home with you. I want to play with my friends and play with my toys and read my books and swing on my swing. Please, may I stay home with you? Oh, he looks a little sad, doesn't he? I think we all feel that way on the first day of school. Mrs. Raccoon took Chester by the hand and nuzzled him on his ear. Sometimes we all have to do things we don't want to do, she told him gently, even if they seem strange and scary at first. But you will love school once you start. Oh, there's Mama talking to Baby. You'll make new friends and play with new toys. Read new books and swing on new swings. Besides, she added, I know a wonderful secret that will make your nights at school seem as warm and cozy as your days at home. Silly to think that they go to school at night, isn't it? But you have to remember, raccoons are nocturnal, which means they are most awake at night. Chester wiped away his tears and looked interested. A secret? What kind of secret? A very old secret, said Mrs. Raccoon. I learned it from my mother, and she learned it from hers. It's called the kissing hand. The kissing hand? Asked Chester. What's that? There's Chester. I'll show you. Mrs. Raccoon took Chester's left hand and spread open his tiny fingers into a fan. Leaning forward, she kissed Chester right in the middle of his palm. Chester felt his mother's kiss rush from his hand, up his arm, and into his heart. Even his silky black mask tingled with a special warmth. Look, that's his little hand, and that's where his mama placed her kiss. Mrs. Raccoon smiled. Now, she told Chester, whenever you feel lonely and need a little loving from home, just press your hand to your cheek and think, Mommy loves you. Mommy loves you. And that very kiss will jump to your face and fill you with toasty, warm thoughts. Ooh, look, there's all the animals going to school. She took Chester's hand and carefully wrapped his fingers around the kiss. Now, do be careful not to lose it, she teased him. But don't worry, when you open your hand and wash your food, I promise the kiss will stick. Chester loved his kissing hand. Now he knew his mother's love would go with him wherever he went, even to school. Oh, there he is playing and having fun. That night, Chester stood in front of his school and looked thoughtful. Suddenly, he turned to his mother and grinned. "Give me your hand," he told her. Oh, look what is Chester doing. Chester took his mother's hand in his own and unfolded her large, familiar fingers into a fan. And next he leaned forward and kissed the center of her hand. "Now you have a kissing hand too," he told her, and with a gentle "goodbye" and "I love you," Chester turned and danced away. There go all the animals going to night school. Mrs. Raccoon watched Chester scamper across the tree limb and enter the school. And as the hoot owl rang in the new school year, she pressed her left hand to her cheek and smiled. The warmth of Chester's kiss filled her heart with special words. "Chester loves you," it sang. "Chester loves you." There he goes. Aren't these pictures beautiful? Look at all the animals at school. I love you. And that is the story of The Kissing Hand by Audrey Penn. And if you notice at the end there, it had the International Sign Language word, I love you. So this is the sign for I love you. Isn't that neat? I love you. So even if you have to be away from somebody, like maybe they're in the other room or maybe they're on the other side of a window, you can always say, I love you, by doing that. That means I love you. All right. Now, this song is all about getting up and moving. So, if you feel like it, get up and move. You gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. You gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. Or when the Spirit says sing, you gotta sing right along. Sing when the Spirit says sing. You gotta clap when the Spirit says clap. Clap when the Spirit says clap. Or when the Spirit says clap, you gotta clap right along. Clap when the Spirit says clap. You gotta dance when the Spirit says dance. Dance when the Spirit says dance. 'Cause when the Spirit says dance, you gotta dance right along. Dance when the Spirit says a dance. You gotta twirl when the Spirit says twirl. Twirl when the Spirit says twirl. 'Cause when the Spirit says twirl, you gotta twirl right along. Twirl when the Spirit says a twirl. You gotta laugh when the Spirit says a laugh. You gotta laugh when the Spirit says laugh. 'Cause when the Spirit says laugh, you gotta laugh right along. Laugh when the Spirit says a laugh. You gotta dance when the Spirit says a dance. You gotta dance when the Spirit says a dance. 'Cause when the Spirit says dance, you gotta dance right along. Dance when the Spirit says a dance. Dance when the Spirit says a dance. Dance when the spirit says to dance. Let's sing one more time. Here we go. Ready? You gotta sing when the spirit says to sing. Sing when the spirit says to sing. 'Cause when the spirit says to sing, you gotta sing right along. Sing when the spirit says to sing. I said to sing when the spirit says to sing. I said to sing when the spirit says to sing. You know, whenever your insides tell you, I want to clap, I want to jump, I want to dance, I want to sing, and it's the right time to do so, you go ahead and do it. You know, it doesn't matter. You can do it all by yourself. You can do it with your friends. Just have fun. All right, I got one last story for you. This, I feel, is a very sad story. It's called The Old Sailor. It's from A.A. Milne's Now We Are Six, and it's with decorations by Ernest H. Shepard. I want to show you the first picture there. That is the old sailor sitting there. The old sailor is a sailor who's full of indecision. Indecision means he cannot make up his mind. I think that might be one of the worst things to happen to a person, is not be able to make up their mind. So let me read you this story and see what you think. Maybe you don't think that's so. I feel like that's so. But that's just me. There was once an old sailor my grandfather knew, who had so many things which he wanted to do, that whenever he thought it was time to begin, he couldn't because of the state he was in. He was shipwrecked and lived on an island for weeks. Look, there he is, shipwrecked. And he wanted a hat, and he wanted some breeks, and he wanted some nets or a line and some hooks for the turtles and things which you read about in books. And thinking of this, he remembered a thing which he wanted for water, and that was a spring. And he thought that to talk as he looked for and keep, if he found it, a goat or some chickens and sheep. So there he is, wanting a hat, and breeks are breeches or pants. And there is the turtle dancing. Then, because of the weather, he wanted a hut with a door to come in by, which opened and shut, with a jerk, which would be useful if snakes were about, and a very long lock to keep savages out. Let me show you that little picture there. He began on the fish hooks, and when he'd begun, he decided he couldn't because of the sun. So he knew that he ought to begin with, and that was to find or to make a large sun-stopping hat. He was making the hat with some leaves from a tree when he thought, I'm as hot as a body can be, and I've nothing to take for my terrible thirst, so I'll look for a spring, and I'll look for that first. Then he thought as he started, oh dear, and oh dear, I'll be lonely tomorrow with nobody here. So he made in his notebook a couple of notes. I must find some chickens. Oh, and no, maybe a goat. And there he is. There's a chicken, and there's the goat. He had just seen a goat, which he knew by the shape, when he thought, but I must have a boat for escape. But a boat means a sail, which means needles and thread, so I'd better sit down and make needles instead. He began on the needle, but thought as he worked that if this was an island where savages lurked, sitting safe in his hut, he'd have nothing to fear, whereas now there might suddenly be breath in his ear. So he thought of his hut, and he thought of his boat, and his hat, and his breeks, and his chickens and goat, and the hooks for his food, and the spring for his thirst. But he never could think of which ought to do first. And so in the end he did nothing at all, but basked on a shingle wrapped up in a shawl. And I think that it's dreadful the way he behaved. But he did nothing but basking until he was saved. So there he is, being saved. Thankfully, he was saved. And there he is, dancing with some sailors who saved him. I don't know if I could live that way, not making decisions. But I guess in the end it turned out okay for him. So, again, I guess it just matters who you are, doesn't it? Well, guys, thank you so much for spending your time with me this morning or this afternoon or whenever you are watching. Know that I appreciate you letting me in on your device or into your home. It's awful fun to read you stories and share some songs. But now it's time to say goodbye. But I'll be back on Wednesday with more songs and songs. I'll be back with more songs and stories. Oh, goodbye, Ollie. Goodbye, Allie. Goodbye, Eli. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, Isabella. Goodbye, Maya. Goodbye, Madeline. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, Gabriella. Goodbye, Lillian. Goodbye, Lily. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, JC. Goodbye, Delilah. Goodbye, Charlotte. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, Brett. Goodbye, Danny. Goodbye, Helen. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, Shelby. Goodbye, Francine. Goodbye, Frangelica and Marissa. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everybody. I will see you on Wednesday. Until then, let's give ourselves a nice high five. And there's one from me to you. And if you would like a hug, then take one hand, put it on a shoulder, take the other hand, put it on your other shoulder, and squeeze really tight. Wow. And there's a very nice Monday hug for you, and I will see you all on Wednesday. Bye, everybody, and have a great day.